How we doing, everybody? Matt here with Khaos Art, and I'm here to do your 4th Photoshop tutorial. Congratulations, you made it all the way to number 4. This is getting intense now. So what I'm going to be teaching you in this tutorial today is how to use your text tool and how to manipulate text. So what you want to start off by doing is creating a new file. So just go up to File, New. You can see right here, File, New. That's Command N on the Mac, Control N on the PC. So let's go ahead and already have mine up here. Go ahead and do it to yourself. You may already have an image up. It really does not matter what you're doing. So there's two ways to add text to an image, either by pressing your T key, which is the hotkey for text, or selecting your T icon, which is the icon for text. So both of them do the exact same thing. You will get this menu up here at the very top. Whenever you have your text tool selected, it is always up there. Different options may or may not be available when you select it, but you will have the menu up there. So now that we have that, you want to go ahead and click anywhere on your image, and it will give you this flashing line. What that is the availability to type something. So much like Microsoft Word or MS Paint, you have that flashing line and it tells you that you can type. So you do have the ability to click and drag a text area to type in. Generally, I try to never do that just because it kind of restricts you to a certain area to type. It's a pain in the butt. So much easier just to click and be able to type whatever you need, wherever you need, and then manipulate it from that. So let's go ahead and jump into this. What you're going to do is type out whatever you want. So Khaos is what I'm going to type out. And then I'm going to choose my selector tool and just move it kind of out towards the center of my area. And now you can see that there's a new text layer that was just made. So underneath your layers, you have this little icon that has a T on it, and it says what you typed out. So that is a text layer. It is, you can change it basically, for lack of a better word. So by either double clicking the icon, it'll select it, or you can select your text tool and click anywhere on it. So those are the two options of selecting your text. So as long as you have your text layer selected over here under your layers panel, you can use these options under your character and paragraph tabs. If you don't have your character and paragraph tabs open, if they're not over here at the side or wherever you put them, you can go to Window, select Character, and select Paragraph. And that'll bring both of them up in a tab for you. So I have both of mine kind of pulled over here to the side so you can see it a little bit better. We can work with it a little bit easier. So the first option under character would be your text, basically. What font you want your text to be in. And like if I wanted neon, you can choose neon. Your text doesn't have to be fully selected to change the text. Your layer just has to be selected at the moment. So I'm going to choose something simple. Let's just go with Sathu. Probably totally just murdered that name, but Sathu, it works. So now that we have a text selected that we like, I want to make sure that it had the right size on it. You have the default 6 through 72 point text, and then you can always change it to something else that you may want, like, I don't know, let's do 100. Oh, didn't mean to do that. So I'm going to change this to 100, press enter, and now we have a 100 point text on the screen. So text are vectors. So when you have text on an image, you can make it any size that you want. I can make it 6 point and then 1000 point, and it'll still retain the perfect image. So you do not have to worry about vectorizing text. It is already vectored for you, and it is wonderful because of that. So our next option is the height. So you can either select here and go left or right to adjust that. And then really what this is the height between lines. So you're not going to see any effect just me doing this now. But if I were to add another line to this, let's do Khaos and then art, you'll be able to see a difference in this. So let's go ahead and bump that up a little bit. And you can see that now it's overlaid. So you can also click here and type in the amount that you want, or select one from the menu. Once again, it's 6 through 72 point. And then the lower the number, the closer they are. 72 will give you just overlaid, just almost not doing anything. I prefer auto just because I don't have to worry about it. It does it for me. So, and then our next is going to be the distance between your text. So you have metric system and the optical system. So honestly, I never, ever mess with this option. You can do optical if you want to. Really doesn't matter, to be honest. If you really wanted to mess with your spacing between the text, I would use the next menu over. You have the 100 down to 5, and then 5 up to 200. 0 is default. I generally just type in a number that I would like. So if I wanted 10, now they're 10 apart. I'm not sure if that's 10 pixels, 10 points, really what it is, but most of it goes by eye. So if I wanted it to be 100 apart, that's 100. And generally, if you're working with text, a lot of it's going to be by eye to see a certain amount that you wanted apart. And then once again, you can click on the VA icon and do it left or right, however far you care to do. So let's go ahead and bring that back a little bit, back to 0. There we go. So next option is going to be your text height. 100% is the default height of the text, however the text was created. You can make this however much you want. You can do 140. It will distort your text where it'll be oddly higher than it is wide. So it can make it look very odd, and it's not very safe to do it that way. It's easier just to do a larger text unless you are trying to distort it, and that's what you want to do. So, but just for the idea of retaining the correct text size, you're going to want to just increase the text size instead of messing with this option. So go ahead and bring that back. Same thing for the width. You can click it and make it wider if you care to. Do 140 on that, and you can see that it's a lot wider than it is tall, and it looks odd, but same thing as the height. I'm not going to run that by you again. Just be careful doing it. And then next will be your text height. Different form of text height. So the set the baseline shift, so which basically means if I increase this, it goes up higher. So that is useful within adjusting your text to a certain area, and that'll basically allow you to move it up and down without having to move your entire layer, if that makes sense. So, and then all of these options can be constrained to one letter. So if I wanted to move my K up higher, I can do that. So now it is 30 points higher than the rest of it. Each letter or multiple letters can have this done to it. That's with all of the options. It's not just constrained to the entire layer. But if you're doing it to an individual layer or individual letter, you would have to select it by itself. Make sure that you are doing that, and once you do that, you can't select the entire layer again and change options because Photoshop recognizes that one of them isn't the same as the rest of them. So it's like, well, I can't do this, so everything else has to be selected other than that one. It can cause problems, but for the most part, really with text, the odds that you're going to do that are pretty slim to none, but it's good to know. So now that we have that, we have all of these little options down here with text on it. You have your bold, bold and unbold, italicized, then everything is in caps, and then there's everything is in caps, but it's also smaller. So it's, yeah, basically small caps is another name for it. Then you have your superscript. I was going to say exponents, but superscript works too. And then you have your subscript, underline, and strike through. So those are all of your T options. Basically, those are your abilities within text. That's really what you're going to want to use, because whenever you have this selected, your text, you can see up here that you don't have those options, and a lot of people are like, why can't I make my text bold? Like, this is very frustrating. That's why you have your character menu, so you can bold it or italicize it. So there you go. And then other options down here, I never mess with these, just different other things that you can do, just like these up here. You just have to have certain things selected. Then English USA, I don't really try to mess with this because I don't really type in Hebrew or Italian or anything else like that. So Turkish, Swedish, anything, Arabic, if you speak those languages, good for you, and you can type in them, more power to you. So, and then sharp is generally what I'll leave mine on. It's just kind of, it gives you an edge to it. So there's sharp, crisp, strong. Strong is kind of like bold, and smooth. So sharp generally gives me the best look for what I'm going for. Every text is a little bit different. So if you have more of like a cursive text, you may want to change it. And it's all by eye as well. Really just figure out what looks best with your text and go with that. So I know that's kind of what most designers will never say, but when it comes down to text, that's really what it is. It's generally symmetrical in itself, so you don't have to worry about that. But the extra aspects on it are all up to you. So your other options are going to be within paragraph. So paragraph is fairly simple, just like anything else that has paragraph abilities in it. You have left alignment, center alignment, right alignment, go back to left, and different page breaks that you can do. So justify last centered, things like that if I had a lot of text selected, but I don't. Then you have your indentions, indent left margin, indent right margin. Indents, I assume just indent first line, yeah. Add space before paragraph, add space after paragraph, and then hyphenate. So hyphenate can be on or off, and paragraph options, I don't really use them. They are useful, don't get me wrong. I have used them in the past, but for the most part, I try to stick to character options and kind of go off of that. So thanks for watching, guys, and let me know what you think about this. Kind of an odd tutorial, didn't really do anything, but now you know a lot about your text options and how to do more things with your text. So once again, thank you for watching, and thank you for all of your